In this video, we'll go over the concept of active transport and explore how it functions within the root hair cells of plants. A great way to understand active transport is by comparing it with diffusion, which we discussed in a previous lesson. Diffusion is the movement of substances down a concentration gradient, meaning they travel from an area of high concentration to an area where their concentration is lower. An important detail about diffusion is that it is a passive process, which means it does not require any energy from the cell. However, active transport is different. It involves moving molecules against their concentration gradient, meaning from an area of lower concentration to one where their concentration is higher. This process is more like pushing water uphill. It does not happen on its own and instead requires energy from the cell. In other words, active transport is an active process. Another key difference is that active transport always occurs across a membrane, such as a cell membrane, and it involves special proteins embedded in the membrane. Additionally, like all cellular processes that require energy, active transport relies on cellular respiration. Cellular respiration mainly takes place in the mitochondria, where glucose is broken down to release energy. We explain this process in more detail in another video, but for now, just remember that respiration provides all the energy that a cell needs. The energy is stored in molecules called ATP, which function like tiny batteries, carrying energy from the mitochondria to the parts of the cell that need it. Now, summarizing what we've discussed, active transport is the process of moving molecules across a cell membrane from a lower concentration to a higher concentration, requiring energy from cellular respiration. Of active transport in action. Consider a plant like this one. It absorbs large amounts of water and mineral ions from the soil to survive. To aid in absorption, plants have root networks that extend into the ground. If we take a closer look, we see that the outer layer of the roots contains specialized cells called root hair cells. These cells absorb both water and mineral ions. They are adapted to this function by having hair-like extensions that project into the soil, increasing their surface area for better absorption. The challenge, however, is that essential minerals such as magnesium, needed for chlorophyll production, and nitrates, required for protein synthesis, are often more concentrated inside the cell than in the surrounding soil. This means these minerals cannot enter the cell through diffusion. Instead, the root hair cells must use active transport to take in these minerals against their concentration gradient, which requires energy. As mentioned earlier, this energy comes from cellular respiration in the mitochondria. Therefore, another adaptation of root hair cells is that they contain many mitochondria to generate the necessary energy for active transport. In summary, root hair cells use active transport to absorb mineral ions. They are well adapted to this.
If you haven't heard before, you can find all of our videos on our website geniushub.co.uk. Additionally, you'll also find MCQs, flashcards, past papers, and quizzes. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content like this.